From the grounds of West Deptford Park in West Deptford, New Jersey, Channel 5 Sports presents Girls High School Soccer. Tonight, it's the Rancocas Valley Red Devils visiting the West Deptford Eagles. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner Marc Narducci. Cool, crisp evening here at West Deptford Park. It feels like autumn, although we're not quite there yet. And Marc, again, it feels as though we should be in mid-season form given the weather.
Yeah, Rob, this is soccer weather. As you look at Rancocas Valley there, the Red Devils off to a 2-0-1 start against West Deptford. And I think both teams really look at this, West Deptford coming in at 2-0, as this really the first major test for both teams. Now Rancocas Valley did have a 2-2 tie with Burlington Township, but these are two schools that think that they can do something in the postseason. RV in Central Jersey Group 4 and West Deptford, of course, in South Jersey Group 3.
Rancocas Valley, a relatively young lineup. Just 3 seniors in their starting lineup, and this should be a good test for them. Not ranked in the Courier Post top 20. West Deptford coming into this game, as you mentioned, undefeated, so an important test for them in terms of playing an upper-tier opponent, as you mentioned, RV, a Group 4 school, and we're underway here at West Deptford.
And of course, one of the people to look at for West Deptford will be number 10, Jenna Lindsay. It seems like we've been covering her for many years. A fourth-year starter for the team, had 19 goals last year, had a hat trick in the opening game this season, so they'll obviously look for her offensively, Rob.
West Deptford ranked number 9 in the Courier Post top 20 and have defeated a pair of teams by a combined score of 6-0, Collingswood 4-0, and Gateway 2-0.
Of course, that Gateway game, too, was scoreless at the half, and West Deptford actually scored on 2 corner kicks, which directly from the corner kicks, nobody else hitting them in. So an interesting game.
And that's an area that RV has really tried to develop as well. So it's something to keep an eye on as the game develops.
Also, West Deptford is playing a little push there. That's a good call. The officials tonight, Jamie Valenti and Jeff Filnick. West Deptford, a different defensive alignment this year, Rob. They're going with what's known as a flat back 4 in the back. Instead of having a traditional stopper in front of the sweeper, they're all back there as a foursome. And it'll be very interesting to see how they work as a team. Kara McGee and Rachel Mahaffey are the 2 people in the center, and they're kind of like the quarterbacks of this defense.
Michelle Snow knocks it away, the sweeper for the Red Devils. And West Deptford looking for their deepest penetration. We're here early in the first half, scoreless at West Deptford Park. Looking to work on the far wing towards the middle and trying to settle. That's the freshman, Kristen Neary. Neary already with 1 goal on the season. And looking at the teams, Marc, very diminutive are the Red Devils.
Don't have the height, but again, Rob, and that's even going to accent more that they're going to have to keep the ball on the ground and work it that way. West Deptford's always traditionally been very strong in the air, so that's going to be something to watch.
West Deptford looking to center it. That's Allison Douglas. Long ball sent in, and a good attempt as the goalkeeper Ginn watches it sail over the goal.
Well, that was Kara McGee, the sophomore, an outstanding player. And Rob, even though she's a defender, and she had 8 goals last year, and she can certainly come up, and you saw the kind of foot that she has. So she's going to be a serious threat, even though she's in the back line in the middle of that flat back 4.
And it's important to mention as well, there is some wind this evening, and it is currently favoring the Eagles of West Deptford.
It's a nice idea by number 4, Nicole Brown of Rancocas Valley. She was trying to go out to that outside flank. West Deptford doing a nice job there of switching fields.
And the Red Devils will simply allow it to roll out of bounds. That's Danielle Beeler.
That was Ashley Batalana, number 5, who switched fields. She's an outside back, Rob, and in this flat back 4, they're going to be having the outside backs move up a little and put some pressure offensively, too. So
Delaquila will throw it in and try to find Tammy Kaiser, knocked out. Again, a throw in here for Delaquila. And coming on will be Rachel Mahaffey.
Well, Rachel has a very good throw. This is This could almost be like a corner kick.
We saw that last year quite a bit.
Excellent job with the line drive that time.
Flicked in the box, this is trouble. And settling quite calmly, the Devils able to get rid of it.
That was a great throw, and then Lindsay did get a flick on that. Didn't quite get everything on it, but job well done.
The left foot, Kara McGee turns it right around, and hustling onto it is Allison Douglas. Douglas will cut it back inside. Douglas with the left foot, and that'll roll over the end line. Douglas has been quite productive. 4 points, 2 goals and 2 assists for the senior forward.
Goal in both games. She was one of you talked about Neary. Douglas and Neary both scored off a corner kick against Gateway with the ball going in that way. Unbelievable. What I like about West Deptford already is West Deptford is doing a tremendous job spacing, Rob, using the entire field. We saw the last time down that left flank. We saw when Battlana switched it to the right flank. Rancocas Valley has yet to get a rhythm as far as establishing any type of style yet.
There you see head coach John Cobb on the sidelines. Always does a great job with West Deptford, and again, another top 10 team this season here early. Cobb always has his girls playing quite well.
Great cross that time by Lindsay. Lindsay beat a player and then sent it in that time, and that's why Lindsay is so dangerous. Neary wasn't able to convert from that right side, but Jenna Lindsay 1v1, very, very tough. She broke down the one defender and then sent it in. Didn't dribble too much.
So another good opportunity here for West Deptford, and right now RV with their backs to the wall.
Well, Rob, if things go according to form, Lindsay should get 21 goals this year because she had 15 as a freshman, 17 as a sophomore, and 19 last year.
Again, the Eagles maintaining possession. They'll work the wing. Trying to chase it down as Kaiser, and now Kaiser with it.
Nice job by Neary getting it out there. For a freshman, Neary has tremendous presence out on this field.
Jill Toomey will quickly turn it around, and now RV will switch things up, and RV quickly on the counter. Alyssa Finley, who is just a freshman and is arguably one of the top players on this team already.
Well, I'll tell you what, that whole play started with number 4, Nicole Brown for RV. She got the ball, spun around, turned it, and sent it down the right flank. That's excellent leadership. That was really the first time we've seen RV put some passes together here in the early going. I'll tell you what, I really like Brown and how she settles things.
Nice little touch here. RV on the doorstep, cut in towards the middle, and knocked away. Nice little playmaking, and a good opportunity for Beeler and RV.
Well, Rachel Mahaffey was right there backing up the play in the middle that time, and she's the one to block that shot. Excellent communication in that back. We said Mahaffey and Kara McGee, 2 very, very strong players in the center there for the Eagles.
Allison Douglas putting on a lot of pressure for West Deptford, and that forces a throw in. West Deptford will maintain possession. Down the wing looking for Douglas, and a little bumping going on towards the middle. Ginn will handle it easily. And Ginn has done a nice job, just a junior, and one of the captains for RV. Looking for Finley down the far end. And sent forward off of the foot of Battlana. And again, quickly now. Here comes West Deptford, and it's Lindsay. Lindsay knocks it in just wide of the far post.
Boy, terrific job by the senior Tammy Kaiser on the feed that time. I'll tell you what, West Deptford is looking very impressive passing the ball on the ground, Rob. They're not getting it caught up in the air in a game like this, and they have been very, very impressive in controlling the play here in the early going.
Wind starting to kick up even stronger, again favoring West Deptford here early. A little touch and a nice trap there. Here comes West Deptford. Delaquila will send it down, and she finds Kaiser. Kaiser towards the middle, a little flick. Allison Douglas on the doorstep, denied. And now RV will quickly try to transition away. Nice little cut-in move for RV. That was Toomey.
Wow, look at Battlana. Came back from the outside and stole that in the middle of the field to start things up.
And Ginn quickly reads as Douglas had an opportunity, but the aggressiveness of Ginn allows RV to maintain possession and quickly turn things around.
Yeah, if you're RV, you have to be impressed with how Ginn came off her line so quickly and decisively.
What a fine little touch there by the freshman Finley, finding Christine Brown, but West Deptford now.
Well, that's an excellent job by Kara McGee that time, chasing the offensive player down there.
We have a stoppage here, and Douglas may be shaken up. That's a player that Cobb and the Eagles can ill afford to lose. You get a good look right there at Marc Narducci's convertible and Rachel Mahaffey. Sent to the midfield, headed away. That's Crane. Sent to the wing, and again, RV will have the throw in. Trying to...
Actually, I inadvertently called McGee Gianna Hickey on that last play. Hickey doing a nice job back in the back line as well here for West Deptford.
Knocked away. Off of the arm of Angela Morales. Morales there defending.
Well, Kaiser's caused some problems moving on down that right flank. She has very good speed. They're going to have to be, RV's going to have to be very, very cognizant of her.
And now here comes West Deptford. Knocked away again by Morales. We'll have a West Deptford throw in. That was Nira, the freshman. I should say Neary.
See, Kaiser's really working that flank well. Very dangerous.
Kaiser with the touch into the middle. Knocked away. Great opportunity again. Shot on. And that goes awry. Here's Morales trying to work out of her own end and simply gives it up to Delaquila. Delaquila to the middle. There's trouble. Punted up in the air. And now RV will quickly look to transition as it's Dawn Dixon. Dixon feeds the wing. And you see some of the speed there of Marianne Morton to the middle. Knocked away sharply by West Deptford.
Yeah, that was Batalana, and again, she has done a nice job, number 5, coming back and covering up, as RV had a really nice run going down that way.
Throw into the top of the box, and West Deptford able to knock it away. And here come the Eagles. And back in the sweeper spot, it's Snow. Snow simply touch it out.
One thing I noticed about Snow is, as a sweeper, Rob, she's not afraid to take chances. She comes out high quite a bit. Has a lot of confidence in her ability. There she is on a block right there.
Again, West Deptford will throw it in. They've had the better of play here early. We are scoreless at West Deptford Park. Non-conference matchup, Group 4, Rancocas Valley facing off against West Deptford. In the box, punted up. This could be trouble. And knocked away by the Red Devils.
Yeah, that's a good job by Danielle Blyer, number 1, who they were in trouble, and she did what you want to do, Rob. She just kicked it to the outside. You don't want to kick it back in the middle where someone can intercept it and maybe walk on goal. Excellent job by Blyer. Now here's Kaiser again with that right flank. She's going to need a little support, though, that time. That time she was on with 2 defenders. There was nobody on her team to help her out.
Mahaffey again with the long throw in. Headed up, flicked up, into the box, headed away. And Ginn comes out aggressively and will look to start the offense. And that's something that head coach Lisa Klaus said that they've really been working on with Ginn, is trying to aggressively come out, get the ball, and quickly transition. And again, it's Mahaffey. Did not see why the whistle, but a set piece here for the Eagles.
I'll tell you what, Neary, they better mark her up because she's tough in the air, she's got some size, and she's going right in on goal, number 11 for West Deptford.
Mahaffey right in again, and again, she's done a nice job here early, Mark. Very sure-handed.
Yeah, and that time, Rob, as a keeper, you want to come toward the ball instead of going back. You don't want to be going back on the ball. That time she judged it well enough, and then she was able to come to it forward and make the catch.
To the middle, West Deptford maintaining the better of play here. And now Kaiser. Kaiser will look to cut it back in towards the middle. A little left, trying to find Lindsay shot, saved by Ginn, and Ginn dives and recovers. Great setup, West Deptford, great save, Ginn.
Absolutely, because I think Ginn thought that Lindsay was going to go far post. She went near post, and that you saw right there how quickly Lindsay gets that shot off. And of course, she's always marked so tightly, she's had to learn how to do that. That's a very good job.
Here's Lindsay. She'll look to turn and go. And stolen away by the freshman Finley. And in speaking with the RV people, including the head coach, they are quite effusive about the talents of Finley.
Yeah, Lisa Claus was very, very impressed by her. Says she could play any position too, which gives a coach a lot of options, a lot of versatility.
Speaking with the athletic director, Tony Latirzo, he said she's going to be someone to watch in the upcoming years.
Well, Tony should know. Tony's still playing men's league soccer. He has not hung him up yet. Former coach here for the boys program. Done a great job. Boy, there again is Ginn, right near the 18. And she's very aggressive, and the only thing she may have to watch out is if West Deptford notices that and one time tries to chip it over.
And that's a fine ball by RV's Danielle Beeler towards the middle. Here's trouble onto the foot, shot on, score! Marianne Morton finds the far post. RV strikes first. Well, we had a great angle, Mark, right here, and you could see that ball was ticketed just inside that far post.
Absolutely. Well placed shot, but Blyer, number one, was the one that started that, kept the ball in that time. And again, Morton, the sophomore midfielder, was just unmarked and really put it away.
It started with a great trap at midfield, and RV not with a lot of opportunities, and you really cannot fault Erin Kennedy on that shot. It was a fine shot by Morton.
And by the way, her first goal of the season. Boy, RV has gotten goals from a lot of different people. We asked Lisa Claus about who the go-to player is, and she said, well, there really isn't any, and there really has been tremendous balance in the early going on this team.
And again, two of their victories come against a Willingboro team and a GCIT team that's undermanned, if you will. So she had an opportunity to really play a little bit of everybody, and this is a good test for this RV team. As you mentioned before, Mark, the play was dominated by RV when they faced Burlington Township despite the tie. And again, this is a team in West Deptford that is certainly the class of the four opponents they have faced thus far.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at this game, West Deptford has obviously controlled the territorial play of it. One of the keys has been Ginn's aggressiveness in goal, the one great block on Lindsay's blast. I think if you're West Deptford, you just keep doing what you've been doing. I mean, they've been applying the pressure, they've been controlling the play, and they've been keeping the ball pretty much on the ground, and I think that's got to be a key as well. You can always control a ball better in the ground. When you put it in the air, it's anybody's ball.
Well, we've seen a lot of West Deptford soccer here at West Deptford Park, and one thing you can rest assured is that John Cobb is going to have his girls playing every last second, and it's not uncommon to watch his adjustments at halftime pay out and turn things around. So still some time left in this first half. RV leading 1-0 on the strength of a Marianne Morton goal.
Tell you what, Blyer's really shown great control of the ball there. Between Blyer, number 1, and 4 right there, Christine Brown. That's a great little working together of those two.
Here's Dixon, top of the box, and running onto it is Morton. She'll try to track it down, unable to do so.
Yeah, the ball stayed on the ground throughout the way. RV's able to work it. Tremendous short passing game. We had said before, RV really hasn't gotten into a rhythm yet. Had a couple of nice runs, nothing sustained, but still leading 1-0 here. Rachel Mahaffey has a very big foot on that goal kick.
Ball sent forward and again knocked away from West Deptford's Jenna Hickey.
Lindsay gets to a lot of ball. That's what we talked about before. Remember we said how Ginn comes out and they might want to try to chip one over? Well, that was the idea that time. Lindsay didn't get all of it that time, but that's the idea. Have her come out of the goal and maybe chip one over there. So.
And that speaks to why Lindsay is such an excellent player. Not only is she skilled, but she's smart and savvy.
Wow, how about Snow that time? 2 players coming on her got rid of the ball to a teammate on the back pass.
Mahaffey with a nice little pass onto the foot of Katie Hill. Hill tripped up from behind. Morales knocks it off. Hill throw in RV.
Yeah, that's a nice job by number 9, Angela Morales, to be able to keep possession, hitting it off West Deptford.
And this ball knocked out.
Christina Carrera, number 2, in there for West Deptford as well.
Morales with the throw-in, and she'll find a teammate. Nice little touch, and going forward will be Lauren Mirabelli.
That's a nice job there by Hickey getting the ball out of there. Had 2 RV people coming up on her.
Here's Kaiser. Kaiser will turn and try to find her teammate, unable to do so as she was looking for Katie Hill.
Kaiser, every time she's gotten it, has looked, I mean, she's playing down that right flank. Might want to think about switching fields to the left side, just to change things up a little bit.
Morales will come on to throw it in for the Red Devils. Of course, RV, year after year, a power in boys soccer. Again with the left foot and now headed forward. West Deptford looking to create once again. RV back on their heels. They'll work it towards the end, knock it out, and whistle blows.
Well, what they're saying is that number 17 for West Deptford, Tammy Kaiser, tripped that time. Been very, very few calls here. The officials have let these 2 teams play. They've played a nice, crisp game so far.
Here's Dixon. And Dixon has it go out. Looking at the girls' soccer top 20, the top 5 or 6 really: Bishop Eustace, Eastern Lenape, Gloucester Catholic, Moorestown, and Haddonfield. The usual suspects, Mark.
Oh, there's no question about it, Rob. One coach was telling me that he thinks Eastern's the best team in South Jersey. It's still very, very early.
Of course, Bishop Eustace ranked number 1 by the Courier Post, and Eastern and Lenape 2 and 3 arch rivals. Always seem to battle it out for the Olympic Conference, and I think Gloucester Catholic would like to have something to say about who the top team in South Jersey is as well.
Of course, Gloucester Catholic playing without Nikki Stone, who had the knee injury. That's a major, major loss. Of course, had a big win last week over a Clearview team that I'm getting very good reports on, Rob. A 2-1 win over Clearview earlier.
Now, Clearview started off with a couple tough games, also losing, of course, to Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And that will pay dividends come playoff time.
There's no question. No. Clearview's a Group 3 team that John Cobb of West Deptford, who's in Group 3, says you better watch it.
Well, if you recall, we had them here last year, one of the best girls soccer games that we've had on Channel 5. A real thriller, went overtime, and West Deptford triumphed. Throw in for the Red Devils. Rancocas Valley leads 1-0. Rob Christ along with Marc Narducci. Cool, crisp evening. I still did not follow through on my promise from last year to buy you a new markometer.
Yeah, I don't have a new thermometer.
I think we're going to have to get that out to you sooner than later.
Boy, there's Christine Brown. I love the way she controls the ball. Did you see that? She just got it out to the right flank. When she thinks she's in trouble, she'll take it to her right and then just dribble it out. Number 4 for Rancocas Valley.
And you saw that she dished it to Finley, the freshman, who is equally as composed and skilled. And now, again, West Deptford with a good run on the far flank. Towards the middle, knocked away, and RV trying to get it out of their own end. Knocked up in the air. You can see how the wind kind of knocked that down. The wind kicking up here at West Deptford Park.
One thing I've noticed about RV that has impressed me here in the early going is the Red Devils are very good at passing the ball back. And a lot of times when you're in trouble, you have to do that. Of course, you can also take some chances, too, if you do it wrong. But, again, Lisa Kloss is a former sweeper, so she was a player when she played at Rancocas Valley that accepted a lot of back passes, and you can see that they've worked on that as well.
Some substitutions coming in for both teams. Lauren Mirabelli tried to get the throw in. The whistle blew, and she'll be subbed out. And coming in to take that throw in for Rancocas Valley will be Nicole Woods to pace.
You notice that RV seems to settle down. West Deptford was really taking it to the Red Devils in the early going, and now Rancocas Valley has had its share of pressure in the West Deptford end. You always play the miss. Lindsay didn't quite do that time. She's got the speed, though, to get by one-on-one. They better get somebody backing up because Lindsay could cut that ball in.
Good opportunity, and Lindsay just got under it a little bit. And, you know, Mark, something that we don't talk a lot about, but when a goalkeeper shows just how effective they are early, all of a sudden your opponents tend to tighten up, and as opposed to just letting it fly, you start to look for the perfect shot, and the perfect shot is unattainable.
Yep. Well, one thing I notice about Lindsay is she doesn't hold the ball too long. You know, sometimes big scorers have a tendency to try to make that extra move. She'll break down one person and then get rid of it. I really like Lindsay's awareness. There's a nice ball by Hickey to the right flank.
And look at Lindsay maintaining possession, just stealing it away from Morales. And again, Ginn. Look at the athleticism of Ginn. She has been very impressive, Mark.
Well, she's been decisive, Rob. She's come off that line quickly, made the decision right away. There's been no hesitation in her game. And as you said, Ginn is really athletic back there as well.
I mean, frankly, when we watch girls soccer, a lot of times you'll see a great athlete back there, or you'll see someone who's a good technician in terms of the angles, and other times you'll just see someone who has good instincts. Ginn looks to combine all three of those elements.
You said technician. On that last throw-in, did you see how Lindsay shielded the defender away while she went for that ball? That's excellent technique on her part.
Punted up. This could be dangerous. Ginn takes it away. Punts it away. Ginn favors that left foot.
The other thing I like about Ginn is, if you notice, she punts a ball low, and I think that's a much more effective punt for your team. You punt it high, you're giving the defense a chance to come back and get it. She gets that ball low and out there. It almost has a look of a drop kick.
Mm-hmm. There it is again.
See how low that goes?
And again, it's West Deptford. That's Badalona. And sent out to the wing.
You know, I like Badalona. Badalona can cause some trouble, even though she's playing that outside back and the flat back four. She can cause some trouble coming up offensively too. She's made a couple of runs. She's not afraid to do it, and there she is right now with the ball. Excellent job keeping that in. Oh, we had an offside. That was close.
Well played game here at West Deptford Park. You got a non-conference matchup. Both teams undefeated. The only blemish on either team's record, a tie of Burlington Township by Rancocas Valley. West Deptford was to play the Bulldogs of Haddonfield, and the game rained out.
Yeah, that won't be made up until October 27th. Of course, Haddonfield hasn't lost a Colonial Conference game the previous 3 years.
Nice work by the Red Devils, just trying to get it out of their own end, and finally able to clear things out for RV.
Yeah, that's Jessica Lewis. That's an excellent job. She stayed on that ball, fought it off, and got it out of there. Nice job by number 10 for Rancocas Valley. Tell you what, you talked about what a young RV team is with 3 seniors. I'm impressed how, in the beginning, I really thought West Deptford was taking it to the Red Devils, and I'm impressed by how RV has been able to settle down right now. Boy, Lindsay shields that ball so well. She did it again that time. Didn't quite get everything on that shot, but...
Yeah, we talked about some of the different reasons why Lindsay's so effective, and right there you saw one more, how she just is able to create her own shot.
Well, not only that, Rob, she's got the rare ability where she can be effective with her back to the goal or facing the goal. And again, when you're someone that's marked as tightly as she is, that's just so important.
Headed away, and now RV will look to break out. Passes behind, and now sent out. We'll have a throw in, and it's going to go RV's way, surprisingly. So Christine Brown did a good job of selling that. Now at midfield. And one of the things that head coach Lisa Klaus likes about this RV team is their depth.
I think both teams, you could say that. We've seen a number of subs at this point.
Far wing sent towards the middle. Flicked away. And RV will just bang it out. Here comes Dixon. Dixon working 2 against 4. Dixon, long ball and a good ball. Running onto it for Rancocas Valley. Christine Brown.
Wow, Batalana made that turn and kept the ball in. Normally a defender will just keep that out. That's great. That's great presence out there.
RV moving forward, showing a lot of patience. Far wing trying to trap and unable to do so was Nicole Woods to pace.
You know one thing, Christine Brown not in the game for RV, and you could tell there's a little less settled downness, not settled downness, but they're not as settled with her out of there. She really calms things down, doesn't rush. Been very impressed with her game.
Throw in here for the Eagles, it's Allison Kraus. Looking for Kaiser, headed up and sent towards the middle. There's Douglas. Douglas, a nice little ball, looking for Lindsay. And here comes West Deptford. Kaiser. Kaiser towards the middle, finds Lindsay. Lindsay trying to cut it back inside. Lindsay still on her left foot now. Heads it towards the wing. And that all would have been started by just a beautiful move by Douglas at the midfield.
Rob, Lindsay cut the ball inside. Then with her left foot past it, she's got to shoot the ball there. She's around inside the 18. She's got it. She's got to use that opposite foot and shoot it.
I believe this is our first corner of the evening. A rarity to have one so late. And it's going to be Krista Neary, who, as you mentioned, scored a goal off of a corner against Gateway. Neary looking far post and unable to finish. That was Delaquila.
You know what? That time on that corner kick, Ginn was found backpedaling almost. You don't want to do that. She almost should have started from the far post and then moved in that time. Wasn't in the best of position. Got away with it. But I'll tell you, as you said, she is very athletic back there in goal.
RV and West Deptford, a chess match at midfield.
Well, again, we talked about Mahaffey coming up from the back line, and that time, again, she took that shot. She's got a great foot. That young lady's been very impressive here in the first half.
Again, just a junior. And here's Dixon shielding and proceeding.
Great job by Dixon on the shield that time to get that ball.
Cuts it back, and now we'll have it taken away by the West Deptford defense. There's Douglas. Douglas just so skilled. Finding now. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay overruns the ball, and now, again, maintains possession. Bodies off the defender. Lindsay, left foot, looking for Kaiser. Unable to complete the hookup.
Well, Kaiser had come in a little too much that time.
Nice move by Kaiser. She'll cut it towards the middle. Flicked up, headed, and Ginn will handle. Allison Douglas has been extraordinarily impressive here in this first half.
I'll tell you one thing RV might want to do is put a tighter mark on Lindsay. She's been able to run pretty freely. You don't see that a whole lot, and I think they might have to get a little tighter on her.
Good ball. Kaiser finding Krista Neary, the freshman. Neary.
Now she needs help. Someone needs to help her in the back. And that, again, you know, we talked about how Snow comes out pretty far as a sweeper. Well, she did that time. Now they're saying it's off Snow, so it'll be a corner kick for West Deptford. West Deptford is very, very dangerous on set pieces. Douglas.
Far side of the box and goes all the way through the box. And we'll have a throw in for West Deptford off of a RV player. Now Lindsay and an offsides. Should be approaching halftime. 1-0 RV. Morton, your goal scorer. West Deptford, Rancocas Valley, here at West Deptford Park. And Mahaffey.
Well, that time Jill Toomey, number 3, actually sold that foul. It didn't look quite as bad at first, and then she almost went down and the whistle was blown.
Miscommunication error as Lewis thought she had a teammate. She did not. And now Kaiser beautifully keeping it in. Kaiser will cut it towards the middle. And now Kaiser right on in. Shot over again. Just missing. Great shot by Kaiser. And a great individual effort all the way from the midfield.
Yeah, outstanding job by Kaiser. You know, she had 10 assists last year too, so she could pass the balls as well as score. But again, Rob, I think we're seeing from this West Deptford team, they're seeing Ginn in goal. They're seeing her come out. They're trying to chip it over her head. That time it looked like Kaiser trying to do that.
Well, Ginn has certainly been the difference in this first half. RV on top, 1-0 shot on, and Ginn right there.
I'll tell you what, if you're RV, that was Lindsay again, you're only going to give her so many chances before she connects. And she has been roaming very freely on this field.
Mahaffey sends it out towards the wing, headed up, and again Mahaffey with the size takes advantage of it.
Well, Mahaffey and Kara McGee in that middle, it's going to be tough to beat those two in the air, I'll tell you that.
Eagles quickly throw it in, trying to find Lindsay, sent back. Ball towards the middle. Kaiser will look to turn and go. Knocked away, here's Snow. Dixon unable to settle. Badalana will send it back.
Haven't seen a lot of back passing by West Deptford. There's a nice little give and go. Badalana and McGee. McGee trying to go down that left flank, but the ball a little too far.
RV will throw it in. And not a whole lot going on. We mentioned before Bishop Eustace ranked number 1. They did tie Paul VI. So it's likely that ranking will change by the time this broadcast airs.
I was a little surprised. I know Eustace was number 1 last year, and Ray Byerly has a great team every year. I was a little surprised they came out of the chute number 1. Especially after, you know, losing 6 starters from that state championship team that called offsides on the left flank that time.
Well, likely you'll see Eastern slip into that number 1 spot as they have started out the year 4-0, convincing victory against rival Cherry Hill East, along with a shutout over Clearview and Paul VI. They defeated Cinnaminson 4-1, and Lenape right on their tails, and they'll be meeting up, I believe, next week.
Gee, Lenape and Eastern battling it out again. There's a new story, huh?
There's Dixon.
Boy, I like Dixon. Dixon very crafty with the ball. She's gotten 3 goals here in the early going. Has good speed, but really keeps the ball near her body too. You really like that.
Beeler throws it in, and this ball knocked off of the RV player. Kennedy has been relatively quiet back there for West Deptford.
RV, I mean, obviously the goal by Morton, but RV has not had the kind of scoring chances that West Deptford has.
Here's Kaiser. How quickly this West Deptford offense can turn things around. Kaiser cuts it in, and again, just too strong over the crossbar.
You know what, though? Devon Kraft, number 23, I thought did a nice job defensively. She did not give Kaiser that left flank. She made her cut it in that time. Had a shot that obviously Ginn could have gotten, but the ball went over. So that was a nice defensive, nice bit of containment that time.
Flicked forward, and here's Badalona. Badalona quickly towards the middle. Little flick. Lindsay finds Kaiser. And bodied nicely. The RV defense by Marianne Morton. Very impressive. And now quickly transitioning. Here come the Red Devils. Lewis cuts it back inside. Lewis towards the middle. Nobody home. From the back. Again. Turn looking for Lewis. And nothing doing. We'll have a throw in for RV.
Lewis did a great job because she had 2 West Deptford defenders on her and was able to make that cross.
Nice little flick by Finley, but defended well by West Deptford. Knocked up. Dixon will try to run onto it, and Badalona will head it away from Beeler. Beeler sets it up. Nice slide tackle there. And that'll do it for the first half. Well, spirited play throughout. West Deptford with the best of play, but it's not the case on the scoreboard as RV, off of the strength of a beautiful goal by Morton, goes to the locker room with a 1-0 edge here on Channel 5 Sports. Stick around. We'll have second half action for you right after this. Welcome back to West Deptford Park. Rob Christ along with Marc Narducci as we start the second half. RV on top 1-0. Beautiful goal in that first half by the midfielder Marianne Morton. The sophomore ticketing the post on the far side, and Erin Kennedy, the goalkeeper, really no opportunity to get it. A beautiful goal, one of the few opportunities that RV had. West Deptford certainly with the better of play in that first half, but again, it's 1-0 RV, and now the Red Devils will have the wind to their back as they start this second half.
I thought the final 15 minutes, RV really took control of things, Robin. You would use the word early on, diminutive, when you described RV, and you're right, but RV is playing the right way for any kind of team, but especially a team that doesn't have a lot of size. The Red Devils have kept the ball on the ground and really worked it well in that first half. And the other thing we mentioned, Lindsay with the ball there was not marked very tightly in the first half, and they're going to have to put a better mark on her. There she gets a shot wide, because you can't let somebody with her skill level roam the field as freely as she was in the first half.
Well, a lot of times you'll see Lindsay being marked by a more physical player, just try to wear her down over the course of the game through bumps and bruises, etc. But, you know, this RV team is somewhat undersized, and as you mentioned, if they don't get a couple girls on her, Lindsay will have something to say before it's all said and done.
I don't think there's any question about it. It's almost like playing with fire, and Lindsay had some excellent chances in that first half, and of course Ginn made a tremendous diving save, the best save we saw in half number 1. Tell you what, Robin, in looking at these two teams, and I know it's early in the season, but you have to say that both of them look like they're going to be in the coaches tournament this year, where the top 16 teams are invited. Just a great tournament in South Jersey. You'd have to think that both of these teams are going to be there based on the skill level and what we've seen in that first 40 minutes.
Well, at the half, we had a visit paid by Doug Schmidt, assistant coach at Moorestown, the number 5 team in South Jersey this week, and he said the very same thing. Both of these teams very impressive, and again, he wouldn't be surprised to see both of these teams in the coaches tournament, and I'm sure Morristown will also be a participant.
Oh, there's no question about that. And keep in mind this year, Morristown, which was in Central Jersey before, has moved back to South Jersey Group 3, so they're going to be in the same group.
Shot on.
As Batalana kicks it in there. They're going to be in the same group as West Deptford. So Group 3 with West Deptford, Morristown. We talked about Clearview earlier. Shawnee, the defending champion. It's a very, very difficult road this year in winning that South Jersey Group 3 title.
I understand the mentality behind the changing the groups all the time and particularly geographically, but I just think the Burlington County schools, it's really a disservice to have them vacillating back and forth. And there's Dixon, who misses, you know, to have Morristown and even Shawnee in some sports playing, in theory, in Central Jersey. I think it's a disservice to those schools.
Well, yeah, I know that they want to even the field, and there weren't as many Central Jersey teams, so they had to move some there. But don't you think it would make more sense to move the Toms Rivers and the teams like that in the Central Jersey and try to keep the teams from Burlington County in southern? But that's another argument for another day.
Lindsay with a little touch towards the middle, and Snow will again illustrate some of that composure we talked of earlier. Headed forward by Lindsay, and now a nice little touch, and she finds Delaquila. Shot towards the middle, headed, and now trying to track it down, the Eagles.
That was a great job by Delaquila, turning the corner and making that cross that time.
A little flick by Lindsay, unable to maintain possession. Kaiser cannot run onto it, but West Deptford swarming here early.
I'll tell you what, Lindsay gets her head on a lot of balls against taller people. You love the grit. Of course, Drexel, Temple, a couple of the schools that are looking at Lindsay.
Knocked to the side by Morales. We'll have a throw in for the Red Devils and Morales.
Oh, that's a great move by Neary that time.
Had an opportunity to talk to Howard Cohen before the start of the game, the principal of West Deptford. And it seems like just yesterday we saw his son playing out here on West Deptford's fields for Hamilton. And just goes to show you that we're getting old, I guess, Mark.
Absolutely.
Yeah, special thanks goes out to John Cobb. He always takes care of us here, Mark. And once again, he plied us with some pizza, not to say nice things, but to ensure that our comfort. And, you know, John Cobb probably takes care of us as a crew more so than any other coach. And for some reason, Mark, you're relentless. You always want to put the little jabs in, but before you know it, we're going to get crumbs.
Hey, John has done a tremendous job here. And
now you're talking.
Well, no, forget about the pizza. He is quietly nearing the 200 win total for a coach in his 13th season, Rob.
Well, there's no question. He's done a tremendous job here. And, you know, West Deptford as a girls soccer program prior to Cobb's arrival certainly was a far cry from what it is today.
Well, I'll tell you, and you know, he's at 193 wins. Of course, they won the South Jersey Group 3 title in '99. They've had a couple of the Colonial titles and been to the South Jersey final last year, losing to Shawnee. It's a team that every year is competitive, and I think that they have been to the coaches tournament in each of his first 12 years.
Shot on Kennedy with the save. And again, that speaks to Cobb's ability as a coach, because this isn't just a flash in the pan. He consistently has this team competing for the conference against an excellent Haddonfield team that, you know, still is a dominant power in South Jersey. And again, year after year competing in the girls coaches tournament and for a South Jersey championship. And despite the lineup being turned over, his teams are there each and every year.
Yeah, 3 Colonials and a South Jersey Group 3 title, and they're going to be contenders again this year in South Jersey Group 3.
Here's Kaiser. Long ball, trying to find Lindsay. Lindsay, good opportunity, and that's the other thing you like about Lindsay. She never seems to take any play off. She's at 100% all game. I mean, frankly, Mark, we see a lot of girls who are very talented, but, you know, we see where they take a little bit of rest, and they kind of cherry pick here and there. That's not the case with Lindsay. Mahaffey.
Wow, Mahaffey just got her footer. Dixon may have been off
shot
to the
on,
races.
and Kennedy with the save.
I'll tell you, if Mahaffey didn't get that foot in there that time, though, Dixon would have been off to the races straight on goal. Boy, Dixon, very, very impressive.
And now physical play being kicked up a notch. Again, RV trying to put on pressure, but Mahaffey showing that physical skill that she has. From the back, nice little touch by RV's Caitlin Crane. And a little flick looking for Dixon. And again, Dixon. No, it's Batalana. Batalana turns and looks for Kaiser.
Remember in the early going how many good runs Kaiser was having down that right flank? She has not had the opportunities, and you've got to credit RV, obviously seeing that, tightening up defensively along that side.
Here's Lindsay. Lindsay with a lot of space.
See, again, she doesn't hold the ball long, it just gets rid of it. You love to see that.
Here's Kaiser. Morales defending Kaiser.
You don't want her to turn that. You don't want to give her that. Oh, she did. She was able to do it that time.
Nice little move by Kaiser.
You want to play that wing and make her have to cut it back in, Rob. Not give her that right side.
And Ginn will send it away.
You know, we mentioned this, there has not been a lot of chippiness. There's been good, clean soccer out here by both teams.
Here's Lindsay. Lindsay with the right foot. And Ginn, not a whole lot on that shot, but Lindsay continues to pepper the goalkeeper. And we've talked about that before, Mark. Just continue to put pressure on the keeper. At the very least, hope for a rebound.
Yep, you have to keep doing it. Here's McGee, who has not made many runs from the back tonight.
And here's Douglas, who I've been very impressed with. Douglas creating some space, knocked away by RV.
Yeah, Erica Talone, number 5, doing a nice job of knocking that ball out for the Red Devils.
Throw in for the Eagles.
Emily Fenton.
Headed away. Finley trying to rush on and falling down is Fenton. Here's Lindsay. Excuse me, Finley.
Boy, again, we talked about RV being able to pass it back, but Finley that time did a great back pass to her teammate Erica Talone, and they didn't quite get it out of there, but that was a very effective play.
AC Fenton with the throw-in. And Lindsay, what a great play by Lindsay to keep that in. Towards the middle, shot on, and Ginn with another fine save, but credit that all, starting with a tremendous individual effort by Lindsay.
Absolutely, to Tammy Kaiser that time. I don't think, Rob, that Kaiser got everything on that shot, but she did the right thing. She one-timed it, did not hesitate because she had a defender coming right on her.
Snow looks to the middle, feeds, and now RV looks to go forward. Great individual effort looking for that left flank, and here's Dixon. Dixon towards the middle, and Dixon again sends it up. Left foot, and nothing doing there.
Tell you what, though, RV's starting to use the flanks a little bit more. Most of the attack for RV has come up the middle.
Kevin Lamastra has graciously donated his Kevinometer, as he has called it. We have it at about 60 degrees outside with a
I was going to say, he didn't teach us how to read it, though.
It's not much light here. Cool, crisp evening. This is really ideal for soccer.
I'll tell you what, this is ideal styles, the way these two teams are playing back and forth. As we said, not much chippy play. It's been very clean, hard soccer.
Finley with a little flick. And now Douglas. Douglas will leave it, and Badalona will try to send it back, finds Douglas. Here's Douglas towards the middle to Lindsay. Lindsay will look to feed Douglas again now, towards the middle, cuts it back inside. Lindsay shot on, and that may have been deflected.
It should be a corner, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what Lindsay did. She had no room at all, Rob, so she cut it once, didn't find the room, cut it the second time, and had a little bit, and then took the shot.
Lindsay, great ball skills, great vision.
Well, great composure, too. I mean, she does not panic. She had a defender on her, another one coming on, and she had the composure just to cut the ball, to hold it.
Here's Douglas. She has 2 goals and 2 assists already in this young season with the left foot. Squirts through. Sent away. And a little flick. Now Dixon one-on-one. Dixon with good speed. And she's working against this West Deptford defense. That's Carrero. She'll wait for help. Dixon looks, finds her teammate. Now towards the middle. Flicked up. Finley. And now Lindsay.
Well, what happened was Mahaffey came in for that offensive play, so she was not back. So that's why Dixon was able to get what was a semi-break, but West Deptford did a nice job getting back defensively.
And Ginn will punt it away. Shouldered. Lindsay sets it.
That's a great touch by Lindsay back to Neary.
1-0 RV on top. Morton, the only goal scorer, that for RV in that first half. Probably about 30 minutes remaining in this second half. That's very unofficial. Headed forward, and from the back, Mahaffey with the bicycle kick. Ginn collects.
Boy, nice job by Hickey again. 2 RV defenders on her, and she gets that ball away.
To the wing, and nobody home but a West Deptford defender in the person of Hickey.
You know, that time, Lindsay was tackled off the ball that time by Jill Toomey, number 3. It's really the first time that I think she's gotten any kind of physical resistance from the RV defense.
Again, West Deptford with the throw-in and sent away by RV. Caitlin Crane. Crane, one of the captains on this team, along with Sarah Ginn and Jill Toomey.
Boy, look, Dixon has just been everywhere here, especially in the second half.
And that's not the way. You see some of the speed demonstrated by Sarno.
Instead of losing possession, I think you may have been better that time, maybe trying to go back to your keeper. Nobody was on Kennedy.
Towards the middle.
Could have kept possession.
Looking for Dixon. Collision. And now trying to switch, but unable to do so for RV. Mirabelli in the middle. And again, they'll look for Dixon on the home run. Dixon will run onto it, but Mahaffey beats her to it. Again, Mahaffey's so strong in the back.
The problem with Dixon has had is a lot of times when she's had the ball, it's been a 1-on-3. Been very few red shirts to pass it to.
Headed forward. There's Douglas. And And Snow will have plenty of time to settle and go. She'll look for the near flank and finds her teammate. That's Mirabelli.
Yeah, that's a nice trap. It was a nice trap that time by 22, Mirabelli.
Snow again. Long ball.
Notice when the balls go in the air, you're not sure where they're going. The teams are losing possession. When they're keeping them on the ground, they're doing a better job.
Nice,
like that.
Nice little ball again on the right flank. Kaiser where she has lived. Kaiser towards the middle. A couple of Eagles run onto it, and that's Batalana. Batalana. Here's trouble for RV. Batalana shot on and just too strong over the crossbar. Batalana had a lot of open net, unable to finish.
Nice idea that time by Batalana, beating one defender, cutting it in, but kicking it over. But a lot of times when West Deptford is making crosses from the right side, Rob, their people on the left have come in too tight into the center. There's nobody there on that flank to get that pass. They're pinching in a little too much sometimes.
West Deptford giving up possession, and Batalana takes it right back.
Julie Brockway in for West Deptford, made a nice defensive play.
Masseri looking for Lindsay. To the middle, now Dixon. Dixon will flick it forward, and running onto it will be Lewis. Lewis unable to get it, as well defended by Gabrielle Sarno.
Fine play by Sarno that time.
Mirabelli again looking for Lewis, and there's McGee.
McGee loves to cut that in the middle, but that could be dangerous. You know, if you don't make that cut right like she did that time, RV was able to get that ball. Now, Mirabelli, number 22, was not able to get a good shot off that time, but I like what McGee, I like her idea about trying to cut it back that time, but if you're going to do it, don't do it in the middle where a defender can get it.
Mirabelli sent forward, settled, flicked. Finley loses that battle. Here's Snow. Snow will come right towards your living room. Sarno will throw it in. Flick forward, Mirabelli. And now they'll switch things up and work that left flank, but nobody home except Eagles. And we'll have some subs come on. Mirabelli will trot out. And you see a shot of Christine Brown, junior forward. We'll throw it in. Dixon sends it towards the middle. Batalana, a little touch.
Wow, that's a great step over. She's had a tremendous game here. She's really, even though she's been on that back line, she's really helped out offensively, pushing the ball up. And here comes Lindsay.
Speaking of offensively, here's Lindsay. Cuts into the box. Lindsay through the defense, a deflection, and RV trying to get it out. Cannot. Lindsay will try to settle, unable to do so.
Yeah, we said how Lindsay likes to make one move, get by a defender, and get rid of it. That time, I think she made one extra move too many. That time, but she has been able to turn the corner. They have not stopped her from turning that corner.
Good crowd on hand here at West Deptford Park. One of the nice things about night games, of course. Opportunity for the parents to come out and watch their children. An opportunity for the school to rally behind their compatriots.
They're seeing two very good teams here. Very good teams.
Little flick, nice little move. And McGee will settle and trying to go forward. And McGee again muscles through. Here's McGee cutting towards the middle. McGee again cutting it in. And McGee doing a nice job. Lindsay will set it up for McGee. McGee all the way from the back, and she's finally run off the ball. But a good individual effort there by McGee before Crane stopped her.
Did you notice Lindsay just gave her a little heel pass and let her keep going on that? And that shows the kind of touch that Lindsay has.
Mahaffey with that dangerous throw in. Headed forward, score! That is truly a weapon for this West Deptford Eagle offense. And there you saw it, the throw in from Mahaffey, and the header will even things up. Not quite sure who finished there. As there was a maze of players in front of Ginn.
Christina Carrera was there. We'll get the official on that.
I thought it may have been Carrera. That would have been her first goal of the season. And now Lindsay, and you can sense the momentum change already. Lindsay. Run off the ball, and RV now will look to turn things around. So some subs coming on now for West Deptford. We are tied at 1. Morton in the first half for the Red Devils, and that was just answered by West Deptford. Brown now towards the midfield, and RV will look to hurry things up and find Dixon. Dixon has it taken away, and now a battle ensues between Dixon and Mahaffey. Mahaffey really creating that goal for West Deptford off of the throw-in. She's been an integral part of the success of this program. Tonight, no different. She has really made her mark both offensively and defensively tonight for the Eagles. Far flank, and Brown cuts off the West Deptford offense. Here's Dixon. Dixon with a little flick. Will try to get through McGee, and McGee gets some help. Headed forward, and now again, there's Finley back for RV. Badalana. Badalana will look, and she'll feed on the left flank to Brockway. There's Dixon. Dixon shields and goes. Looking to direct traffic. Dixon weaving her way through the defense and finally taking off the ball, trying to find Morton, the RV goal scorer. And there you see Alyssa Finley, the fine freshman for RV. She will throw it in here as we get some subs coming on for both West Deptford and Rancocas Valley. We mentioned, but both of these teams very deep, in both Klaus and Cobb readily substituting. Knocked away. We'll have a throw in once again for Finley. Finley looking for Dixon. Dixon looks to settle, and it's Badalana who will take it away, and she'll knock it off of Dixon.
Well, Rob, I just ran across the field, and Carrera was the goal scorer, as we thought. We just weren't quite sure.
I timed you. You've been doing some off-season training, apparently.
Only in the pool. only swimming. It's a little different when you have to run across that field.
Again, another whistle here as RV once again will run out another sub. Coming out of the game is Jill Toomey. Long throw in by Crane.
Oh, nice catch by Jeff Filnick, the official.
Finley once again will throw it in. Finley knocks it off of the leg of Jenna Lindsay, and once again, little by little, RV gaining ground. Beeler, and now Badalana.
Badalana is always looking to settle the ball. Excellent pass there.
Long ball.
Great job by Neary that time. Looking for Jessica Stanek going down that left flank. That's a nice look. Ball a little too far, but that's a good idea. One thing about West Deptford's been able to attack from all areas of the field, Rob. In the first half, it was a lot from the right flank. That time there from the left. Also, obviously, very dangerous on the going, up the middle, and also on set pieces. And even though they scored on a throw-in, which isn't a set piece, it's like one with how well Mahaffey can throw that ball in. Look at that. Mahaffey kept the ball in on the turn. That's an excellent job. I'm a big believer in defenders that are able to keep the ball in instead of just kicking it out and giving the team that throw-in.
Shot on and just missing the far post. Great shot by Danielle Beeler. That all started by the freshman Finley. Great individual effort, dribbling and showing a nice touch, finding Beeler, and Beeler sending a rocket, and Kennedy, frankly, slowly to react. I don't think that was, in her estimation, going to be on, and it just missed the far post.
Yeah, I thought Kennedy was taken by surprise on that play. Boy, Beeler has had a couple of nice rockets here tonight.
Here's Kaiser. Kaiser will leave. And Snow bodied off the ball.
Remember we talk about how far off of her position Snow comes? That's all the way out there on that left side, and Snow's your sweeper, and she's going all the way out there. She'll take the chances. She hasn't been burned by it, though. She's a gambling type sweeper, but she reads the play so well, and she knows she can get to it.
You can't burn Snow, Mark. Mahaffey with the dangerous throw-in.
Remember, on those throw-ins, it's not always the first person, it's the second person that's the most dangerous. You flick off the first, then the second can actually take it home.
Headed forward. And ball sent looking for Brown. Towards the middle. And here's Badalana.
Nice back pass. Just a little too far in the touch that time, but it's a good idea. It's a good idea for West Deptford.
The ball girl tried to send it into Ginn. Instead, just almost knocked over Stanek. And the ball girls are provided by West Deptford, so no ill will there. Ginn.
Over the years, a lot of the ball girls for West Deptford eventually became West Deptford high school players.
Stanek towards the middle. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay, top of the box. Lindsay will get it off the shot, and Ginn will answer.
See, she had to do it right away because they were converging on her, Rob. Actually, I thought she should have done it just a hair quicker than that. That one thing RV's doing, remember we said how Lindsay was able to roam freely in the first half? They've tightened up on Lindsay. I think they've seen the kind of skill level she has. Keep in mind, we're talking about one of the best players in South Jersey. There's no question about it. Boy, Dixon, look at Dixon holding the ball and getting it to the right flank. That's an excellent play.
Tremendous ball, and again towards the middle, headed, but over the crossbar. But again, very rarely do you see, not only in girls soccer, but boys soccer, a team go tic-tac-toe over the entire field.
But Beeler may have been better served not touching that, because on that far post that time was number 15, Alyssa Finley, and she was there ready to finish that time. That actually helped out West Deptford on that. Now, obviously, if you're Beeler, you're looking to score the goal, you can't worry, but I'll tell you what, she was unmarked on that far post, Finley.
But again, what I was impressed with, far flank, near flank, set to the middle.
Absolutely.
Something rarely seen at the high school level. Lindsay in traffic. Lindsay shot on, great save, good. She just keeps doing it again and again.
And she had two defenders on her and showed how quickly, and by the way, Rob, lost in that was a tremendous pass that Stanek gave Lindsay that time. But like all the great players, Lindsay can really fire that shot quickly, and she had people right on her too.
Well, it may have cooled to 58 degrees here at West Deptford, but the soccer's been heating up. We're tied at 1, RV and West Deptford.
No, this this looks like almost a late season game with how these two teams have been working the ball so well. I think you're starting to see a little fatigue though on both teams, which means you may see some sort of a break or someone going in on the keeper.
Well, one thing that we talked about, Mark, is these teams do freely substitute, so it shouldn't be as much of an issue as it would be with other teams that go deep in their bench.
I agree, Rob. The only thing is the pace of this game has been unbelievably quick.
Finley, a great cut in. She'll send it towards the middle, looking, and a little flick over the head of Kennedy, trying to find Dixon. But again, Finley, the freshman, very impressive here, as Devin Kraft had a tremendous opportunity.
I think there has to be a little better communication in that back line for West Deptford.
Stanek sends Delaquila up, and from the back, Snow once again. Just cooling off that West Deptford offense.
I think you've used up your ration of Snow cliches for the evening, Rob.
I was disappointed you missed my Ginn line, but that's okay. From the corner, Lindsay touches.
Rob, she's inside the 12 and she's alone that time, the one time. Again, if you're Rancocas Valley, I mean, they've been dodging it a lot of times. You cannot have the most explosive player on the field alone that closely.
Lindsay giving Rancocas Valley a devil of a time.
I don't think that, I don't think Lindsay realized she had that much time. Because she's just so used to having to pull the trigger so quickly that time that a little bit rushed, had more time.
Morales there may have been hit in the schnoz. And she looks like she's going to shake that off.
They're getting a sub in.
So that's always the worst, when you get that right in the nose and the eyes tear up immediately.
It's even worse when the nose starts bleeding. Angela Morales, one of the key seniors on this Rancocas Valley team.
We mentioned they only start 3.
Hey, how about RV? They have to take on West Deptford tonight and then Morristown on Tuesday. They're taking on 2 teams that could be in the South Jersey Group 3 finals in a couple of days' time.
So you get a good look at Jenna Lindsay. She has been as advertised tonight. RV will resume with a throw-in. That's Snow. Snow with a bullet. And Lindsay, that's Mahaffey.
That is what is known as a foul. That is not playing the ball that time.
Nicole Brownell got to meet the West Deptford turf. Here's Dixon. Dixon tries to take it away, unable to do so, but RV still. And ball sent wildly on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gabrielle Sarno did what she had to do that time for West Deptford, number 22. She just cleared that ball to the outside.
Devin
just
Kraft,
got a foot on it.
Devin Kraft has had a number of opportunities and frankly just has not taken advantage of them.
I'll tell you what, I am really impressed with Dixon. She has caused a lot of trouble for that West Deptford defense.
There's Battlana. A lot of power in her small frame. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay to the middle, feeds McGee. And that's taken away. That was actually Neary.
Oh, great step over by Neary that time.
And Neary will send it on. And Ginn handles.
Tell you what, Neary has a lot of presence out there for a freshman, doesn't she?
What a boot by Ginn. We'll step away, tied at 1 at West Deptford Park. Welcome back to West Deptford Park. We're tied at 1. Rancocas Valley and West Deptford in a non-conference matchup. RV, a Group 4 school versus West Deptford, a Group 3 school in soccer. Morton, the goal scorer in the first half for Rancocas Valley, and Carrero answered off of a throw-in from Mahaffey to tie things up. That's where we are, tied at 1. Some excellent soccer here this evening between both teams. Opportunity and run off the ball is RV, and quickly Lindsay will turn things around and show some of that fine skill. Looking to feed Stanek, and Snow is there.
Kara McGee made the defensive play that time, turning it in and then getting it started the other way. Nice job by Kara.
Throw in for RV. Nice little shield by Lewis.
Now Mahaffey's caught up, so they have to help out for her till she can get back.
And Beeler in the middle. Beeler has been impressive tonight. Beeler looking to thread the needle, trying to find Lewis.
You know what, Rob? I said Mahaffey got caught up. That's because West Deptford now has done a different tactic and moved Mahaffey up. She's not playing in that back line right now. It looks like they moved her up to the midfield to take advantage of her offensive ability. Interesting tactic right now.
And some physical play here. And the West Deptford crowd loves it. Some wholesale substitutions here. Brownell was bodied off the ball.
Now McGee came out, so it looks like they've moved Mahaffey back now.
Snow. And again, it's West Deptford. Flicked up, headed. Brownell flicks. There's Carrero. She'll yield to Badalana. Badalana misses that one.
She's missed that one, but she has forced the action all evening from that right outside back spot. Been very impressive.
Again, takes it away from Douglas.
A nice head by Neary that time.
Now, it looked like Penn may have saved that one. But the referee rules otherwise. Here's Jenna Lindsay. Lindsay to the middle. A little give and go, and that's denied. And RV will simply send it the other way. Finley will run onto it, but not before Badalana heads it away.
Well, she headed it away to herself and then went up the right side. That's an excellent play.
Tremendous.
Excellent play.
Tremendous play by Badalana. A stop by Beeler. West Deptford again continuing to gain ground. Here's Kaiser.
You know, Kaiser has not been able to turn it up on that right flank as much. Again, RV's made that adjustment and really tightened up on her since about the opening 20 minutes of the first half. She's still very dangerous, though. She's got the speed that can turn that corner.
Now Finley. And that'll do it. Go ahead, Mark.
So it's going to be a golden goal situation, Rob, if the first team that scores wins. If not, they play 2 10-minute overtimes.
Even play throughout. And West Deptford and RV punch, counter punch. There you see John Cobb. Has to be pleased with the play of his girls. There you see.
Little nippy.
Good indication of the weather here. Unofficially on the Kevinometer, 58 degrees outside. Perfect for soccer. Nice Saturday night.
Oh, absolutely.
Some rain
Rob,
here.
I'll tell you what these two teams are giving each other from this game, I mean, down the road, I think it's going to help both teams. The kind of style of play, the competition, the clean play, and the skill level. I mean, these are the games that you put in your pocket and you say, these are the games that helped us once the state tournament comes.
Okay. Well, we go to this overtime, and again, these two teams, as we mentioned, have played well throughout. And you know, early in the year, this is an opportunity to really see how far your team has come. You know, you're starting to pick up the level of play, and a lot of times coaches feel a little uncomfortable at the beginning of the year because they're not quite sure where their team is. And these are the type of games that get you battle tested, battle ready, and really this will lend itself to solid play in the conference, as you mentioned, RV coming up against Morristown on Tuesday.
And remember, Rob, the season's only 8 days old, and the skill level and the passing level and what we've seen from both of these teams, you usually have to be into the season about a month and a half before you see this. So I think both coaches have to be very happy at the level of play and what they've seen of their team. We haven't seen a whole lot of kick and run here tonight. We've seen a lot of very, very good passing.
Of course, from West Deptford, a team we're very familiar with. Very impressed again by the play of Jenna Lindsay. Rachel Mahaffey, always solid in the back, and Allison Douglas has been very strong as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've said so much about Lindsay tonight, but she's just done so much too. I think they tightened up on her a little bit, but she still had her chances. She had that one time when she one-timed it, when she had a little more time than she thought she did, but she's just always used to feeling pressure, but she certainly lived up to her billing as one of the best players in South Jersey. There's no question.
For Rancocas Valley, this is a team that was 8-8 last year, and you know, they have shown to be a formidable opponent and someone that I think Morristown may have their hands full with on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think Morristown is still going to be the favorite in the Burlco, but you're right. It's a vastly improved Rancocas Valley team. It's a second year under Coach Lisa Claus. One thing you could tell, this is a very well-coached team. I mean, Lisa was a player at Rancocas Valley, a college player. She's a young coach who's brought a lot of enthusiasm to this program. And this.
Well, West Deptford will shoot at the goal where both goals have scored. Interestingly enough, earlier in the night, that was where they were heading into the wind. That is not the case now. The wind has essentially died completely.
And Rob, you hit the nail on the head very early in this telecast when you said that RV doesn't have a whole lot of size, and they've played the perfect style for a team that doesn't have size. They have kept the ball as much on the ground as you possibly can and worked it that way. And West Deptford, I think, has done as good a job doing the same thing as we've seen in the many times that we've seen them play.
Allison Douglas feeds Lindsay, and Lindsay,
oh, she's down.
She is down, and a shot on. Lindsay is shaken up, and obviously that's an injury that this West Deptford team cannot afford. See whether or not she comes off. She's just trying to walk it off.
I think they'll have to carry her off before she wants to come off. I'll tell you that.
Call goes against the Eagles. They'll push in the back, and Caitlin Crane will.
You know, Lindsay's moving very gingerly, trying to work that leg.
And if it's a Charlie horse, this cool weather isn't going to help. Still favoring her one leg.
Well, you know, they like to play her as an attacking mid, but right now she's up top. She's really the point person.
Brownell shoots on to Kennedy. Not much on that. Again, Brownell gives it away
to Battlana. How many steals has she had tonight?
Here's Kaiser. And Lindsay looks like she's moving much better now, and it's taken away by RV. Trying to find Dixon. Nobody home except for Sarno.
Sarno did a good job of not trying to kick that ball in bounds. She knew it was going out, let it roll out.
Douglas feeds Fenton towards the middle.
Oh, good play by Neary. I'll tell you, I've been really impressed by Neary. Her presence of mind out there for a freshman.
Again, Badalona creating some space.
She
working
does.
Against Finley. Flick towards, sent on, and Ginn will handle with Douglas on the doorstep.
You know, Rob, how many times have we seen Badalona do a step over on the ball, get the ball, and then cross it in? That's what she did exactly that time. Wait, there's Neary again.
Neary right through Brownell. Neary feeds, finds Lindsay. Lindsay's run off the ball. Sent in, Ginn.
See, Snow that time took her off the ball, but didn't get rid of it right away. Took her time and then lost it. That could have been a dangerous situation for the RV defense. Can't play around with it when you're that close to the goal.
Brownell feeds Brown. Brownell will cut it back inside, working against the freshman Neary. Nicely done, now Brown. And Brown cannot escape Badalona.
I'll tell you, that said about Snow, she has been very, very solid back there.
Here's Finley. She may have been offsides, but no call.
Well, she's got some jets, so they have to watch her.
Finley, a nice little move, unable to control. She looked to be offsides though, Mark.
Rob, I didn't see that. I didn't see it, so it's hard for me to say.
Sure.
I was looking away from the ball at something.
The intensity of play has not diminished. If anything, it's been kicked up a notch here in this overtime. And Kennedy handles and boots. Dixon heads it. And a little push there. Dixon in the middle, looking to feed. Beeler, we've seen how dangerous she is. Working. Nice little move by Beeler with the left foot towards the middle, flicked forward. And Douglas. And there's Brown again looking for Beeler. Beeler in the corner, knocks it back in, no. Very close there.
Yep. Well, that was, McGee did not let Beeler at least go down that right flank and cut in. She made it cut back to the left side. And you just don't want to give away that right flank. Good defensive play. And that was a good play that time by Douglas, kicking it off RV and West Deptford possession.
Near flank, there's Lindsay. Lindsay cuts it back inside, and it just gets away from her, and Snow once again answers the call.
Well, nice job by number 11, Caitlin Crane, who forced Lindsay into her teammate that time. Forced her into that double team. That's a good defensive play.
Crane really giving her team a lift. Throw in. And Brown heads it out. Lindsay with a good opportunity. Taken by Ginn.
Good idea to try to one-time it from that far and maybe surprise Ginn, but Ginn right there on it.
Nice feed, Beeler trying to beat Sarno. RV will quickly send it back in. Brown trying to handle and unable to do so. Thrown by Beeler, just short hopping Brown. Fenton, long feed. Lindsay.
Now they need help. They need help backing her up.
And Lindsay tries to go short side, but again, Snow building that wall.
Well done by Snow, because again, she did not let Lindsay cut it and turn it in that left flank. She was playing great contained defense that time. I'll tell you, I like Snow's style. she's not one of those stay-at-home sweepers, but she really reads the play very well. See, there she is again. You know, some sweepers, you'll see them in the middle of the field the whole time. Snow has been all the way out on the flanks and everything like that, but she's read the play, gotten to the ball, and she has very good speed. I think the sophomore has been tremendously impressive here tonight. I think her coach, who's a former sweeper, has taught her a thing or two about the position.
Flick towards the middle. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay. And that was a shot. It got a little away from her. But, you know, Mark, you talk about Snow being the sophomore, and you see Finley, just the freshman. And, you know, again, a lot of good young talent on this RV team.
Dixon's just a sophomore. I mean, this is a team that's going to give a lot of opponents trouble for a number of years now.
Again, of course, a junior. And here's Badalana. Lindsay, a nice little touch, finding Kaiser, a give and go back to Lindsay. Lindsay, middle of the box. Lindsay cuts it back inside. And denied by Brown. Lindsay creating space, left foot shot. Answer.
Good idea. She held on to it till she could get enough room to get a shot. She didn't see it the first time. She had the presence of mind not to let it go and to hold it. And Rob, there aren't a lot of players that can hold it that much and have that kind of composure without panicking.
Sarno, the long ball. I think we have an offsides call. We do. And out of nowhere, the wind has kicked up once again. Trying to find Dixon. Headed forward. There's Stanek. Stanek feeding Fenton. And this is coming right towards Marc Narducci. Narducci having flashbacks of 47 years ago. There's Fenton.
You're not off by many, I'll tell you that.
That was when you were in the over 28 league. And Ginn able to come away with it.
That would make me 75.
At least. Brown. Too strong.
It's been all Eastern in this first, it's been all West Deptford in this first overtime, Rob, on the attack. RV hasn't shown a lot of offense there.
Should be coming towards the close of this first overtime. We're tied at 1 here at West Deptford Park. Into the box, again, too strong. Well, West Deptford has had that very shot happen repeatedly, it seems. Of course, coming away with nothing. We're tied at 1 at West Deptford Park. Second overtime coming up right after this. Welcome back to West Deptford Park. Tied at 1, second overtime, girls soccer matchup. West Deptford hosting Rancocas Valley. First half goal by Marianne Morton for RV. That was matched by a Carrero goal in the second half. First overtime was scoreless. We're in the second overtime. The opener this year, Mark, for Channel 5 Soccer.
Yeah.
And it's been a good one.
And now we're going to have an indirect kick, Rob. What was called was a dangerous play. RV on the ground trying to kick the ball. So this has to go off a player into the goal. You see the official with his arm up signaling the indirect kick. So even though Mahaffey has the foot to get it on goal, she's got to get it off one of her teammates. So see, they want that wall to move back 10. That's a good idea.
Mahaffey. Too strong, trying to find Neary.
It's a nice idea, though. Neary was running on that far post. Ball just a little bit too far. Good idea, though. And there's a young lady that has had some game today. There again. And now see, Dixon could have settled that time. Again, that's your teammates have to tell you, hey, there's nobody on you. You have time to settle.
Finley battling Battilana.
Battilana may have gotten away with a little push on that.
I think so.
Time. But I'll tell you what, these officials have done a tremendous job, Jamie Valenti and Jeff Filnick, in allowing these teams to play. It has never gotten overly too physical. There hasn't been a lot of pushing. It's just been clean, hard soccer. And for the third and fourth games of the season, respectively, for these teams, that is very impressive.
Finley putting the pressure on Mahaffey.
Again, you can't cut it back inside unless you're sure of it. I mean, I applaud Mahaffey for not wanting to lose the ball to the outside, but...
Here's Kaiser. Kaiser cuts it back inside.
Lindsay's open. Oh.
And the deflection will allow Ginn.
I'll tell you what, Kaiser and Lindsay have a really nice feel for each other, where they are on the field. They've had some great two touches tonight.
Towards the middle. Too strong, Battilana. Just like the Energizer Bunny. She just doesn't quit out there.
Yeah, and again, off RV. She doesn't lose. She has not lost many possessions tonight, Battilana. She's been an outstanding player here.
Mahaffey throws it in, and Brown unable to settle it. Mahaffey again.
Boy, that's a nice throw.
Throwing.
That's a great throw by Mahaffey.
What a nice play by RV. Tremendous job by Snow.
Right, because Lindsay tried to pass it to herself, past Snow, and Snow was able to get a foot on it.
Brownell. Flick off of Dixon. Brownell again. Look at this. Here's trouble. Towards the middle. Dixon. Battilana leaves it. Brownell with a lot of room. Sets it up. Shot. And missing entirely is Marianne Morton, looking to double her output.
Brownell been very impressive tonight, as we said, controlling the ball.
Finley settles. Brownell shot. And a good save by Kennedy. Brownell trying to sneak it inside that far post. Brownell, a name very familiar to West Deptford, that a fine kicker for years here. Had an opportunity to see Jake Brownell today on television. Temple against UConn, and Temple actually had a game stolen from them today.
How about it? Yeah, Brownell, again, I earlier referred to her as Brown, but Brownell has just done a fine job keeping possession.
Lindsay towards the middle. And turn. Here's Brownell now trying to recover. And Brownell working through traffic. Brownell will send it up and finds Lindsay. Finley tries to flick to Dixon. Battilana, Brownell. Sarno. And Ginn.
You know, another thing, we talked about how Snow plays up pretty far up for a sweeper. Well, she's able to do that when she has a keeper like Ginn, who gets off her line so quickly and is so quick to get to the ball. So that also helps her style as well.
Battilana.
Nice job by Battilana, because Finley could have had the ball on that left flank if Dixon could have gotten it there, and that could have been dangerous.
Off the foot of Crane results in West Deptford retaking possession. You can see that Battilana and Mahaffey just bent over. I don't know that they've been subbed out the entire game. They are exhausted, because this has been a game that has gone end to end.
You're right. You're talking they're going to be playing 100 minutes and at this kind of pace.
Nice read by Brown. Brown will try to turn things around. Nice feed finding Finley. Finley will work against Mahaffey. Mahaffey taken away from Finley.
You know what? Mahaffey got away with one that time. There's no question about it.
Well, this RV crowd is not very pleased.
In fact, I thought even if it were a foul, it would have been the right move because RV had some numbers coming down on that break.
About halfway through this second overtime. Towards the middle, nobody there but Eagles. Brown will back up, watch it bounce and try to shield. Collision ensues, and substitution. Here comes Mahaffey.
This late in the game, Mahaffey's still getting line drive throws. Sometimes when you're tired, maybe you'll put a little air under it, but she's done a great job with those throws.
Here comes West Deptford right up the gut. Douglas keeps. Douglas left foot shot, and Ginn saves again. Douglas showing that creativity, just not enough on that to beat Ginn. Now Finley will run on. Finley with that good speed, unable to save.
Good thought by Brownell. She's trying to send Finley on the flank with some open space. Ball just kicked a little too far, but that's a nice thought process by a very intelligent player.
Here's Brownell, and she'll try to find Dixon. Dixon run off by Sarno. Sarno shielding, sending.
Hey, that's a great play by Sarno because you know how dangerous Dixon is, and as you called it, Rob, she shielded away from the ball, but she didn't obstruct her. That's a nice defensive play, but here comes Dixon again. She's
Dixon
dangerous.
Towards the middle, but there's nobody there. That had to be a problem.
Well, we talked about West Deptford a number of times when they were on the right flank and they'd cross it in and there'd be nobody on the left because they'd be pinching in toward the goal, and that's exactly what happened with RV. Babylana with yet another step over. That step over has worked all evening for her.
And now Neary feeding Kaiser, but it's Snow to knock it off of Kaiser. Snow has been so impressive here. Kaiser now, blanketed by Snow.
See, she won't let her get that right side. See that? That's a great defensive play there.
And Ginn will come on. Punted away. Mahaffey heading it forward.
Rob, I think it's safe to say that we've heard a season full of cliches in one game from you. Blanketed by Snow.
You like the? They've been very punny, I know.
Oh man!
Trying to find Finley. What's disappointing is that Stan Ritters had to point them out to you.
I'd hate to see if one of the players' name was Rain.
Dixon shot. Dixon. Oh, saved by Kennedy. I tell you what, we've seen some tremendous goalkeeping tonight.
Doesn't get any better than that. Dixon was point blank.
And things go awry there for RV on the corner. And that will do it here from West Deptford. Well, I tell you what, Mark, what a way to kick off our season on Channel 5. West Deptford and RV playing a highly skilled, entertaining football game.
Rob.
American football, of course.
Rob, I'll tell you what, I will be shocked if both of these teams are not in the coaches tournament. I mean, if there are 16 teams better in South Jersey than these two. I loved the style of play. I loved how both teams kept the ball for the most part on the ground, worked it very well, and I think that both of these teams down the road, and it's going to be a while still, are going to be a factor. West Deptford in South Jersey Group 3 and Rancocas Valley in Central Jersey Group 4.
Well, never a big fan of ties, but as I mentioned, to watch a season opener with this high level of play, you know, both coaches have to be very pleased with what they saw from each of their respective teams.
Well, what I liked was the pace of the game as well. First of all, you saw good fitness level. I mean, even though we said they were getting tired to the end, anyone would get tired playing at that pace. But the fitness level was good, and I thought the passing was as crisp as you're going to see. And again, these teams have only played 3 and 4 games respectively, so both teams very well coached, very well drilled. You could see that, and both are going to win a lot of games this year.
Well, you know, no surprise when you have two teams that play at this level. It's not particularly one person that stands out. I think each team had 4 or 5 girls that really played a tremendous game this evening.
You're right, and with RV, as we talked about before, there are so many people. There's not that one target person that they look for, that they can get their scoring in a number of ways. And I think West Deptford has got to develop some people in addition to Lindsay, but I think Lindsay showed how dangerous she is, and Neary, for a freshman, how she worked together with Lindsay. I mean, there's just a lot of things that John Cobb can take as positives coming out of this game.
Well, it will be fun to watch this West Deptford team as they evolve, along with Rancocas Valley.
Yeah.
And I won't be surprised if we have West Deptford back on Channel 5 before the year is out, particularly come playoff time. Again, your final score here from West Deptford Park, it was Rancocas and West Deptford tying at 1 in a very entertaining game to start things here on Channel 5. For my partner, Marc Narducci, my director, Stan Ritter, and all of the crew, I'm Rob Chris. Thanks for joining us. Once again, your final score, West Deptford and Rancocas Valley play to a 1-1 tie. Good night, everybody.